Alrighty guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to be doing another educational informative shrine video. So currently I can tell you this is actually looking pretty good for both sides of the coin. Now there's one perk that excels above everything else, and that is going to be the first perk that I'm going to be mentioning. This perk is called Borrow Time. It is a build teachable unlocked at level 35, followed by Unbreakable at level 40, and Left Behind at level 30. Now, why is this perk so good? This perk has a lot of different benefits that can happen. When you hook save a survivor on the hook within the killer's heartbeat, whether the killer has a 32-meter heartbeat, they're running distressing, therefore they have a 40-meter heartbeat, whether they have a 16-meter heartbeat as Michael Myers, an 8-meter heartbeat, doesn't matter. When you hook save an ally under the effect of the killer's heartbeat, they will receive something called Borrowed Time. This means when the killer hits them in the next 15, 20, and 25 seconds in corresponding with rank 1, rank 2, or rank 3, while that target takes an M1, you will then receive a benefit, and that benefit will be they get an extra life. How will the killer know that Borrowed Time has been affected? Okay, Jeff just got saved off the hook, and I hit Jeff. Jeff will then proceed to glow white. I will see in the bottom left-hand side of the screen, there will be an indicator. That indicator will show me a bar. This bar is called mending. Do keep in mind, mending and healing are two completely different things in Dead by Daylight. So Jeff took the hit, now Jeff runs away. Okay? This is good because no hit will take Jeff down before he takes the hit. While he's under the effect of Borrowed Time. Remember, Borrowed Time lasts 25 seconds. If you don't get hit in those 25 seconds, you lose the Borrowed Time effect. So you just get hook saved, you'll be able to see an indicator of a guy standing like this on the right-hand side of the screen, and that is going to show you that you have Borrowed Time. It'll be a timer going around. When you get hit, that'll disappear, and you'll have to mend. Jeff then has to run away. For as long as Jeff is holding the shift key and not stationary on a generator, his mend bar will not go down. When Jeff stands stationary, he will have a prompt on his screen which says mending. He then has to hold M1. There are no skill checks involved. Jeff will then take the knee and crouch, and he'll be doing this kind of wrap animation around himself. It'll take approximately 10 seconds to mend yourself. Now, there are things that can increase the time of mending, like the Filthy Blade on Legion. Don't get your hopes up. It's a nasty blade, actually. My apologies. It's not actually that great. So, how can you use Borrowed Time to your biggest benefit and kind of use it to your advantage? Well, if I just hook save Jeff from the basement and the killer hits me in the back, I can then dead hard through Jeff, and Jeff will take the hit because I can't take damage while under the effect. Keep in mind, Jeff cannot go down in one hit while Borrowed Time is up. Therefore, no chainsaw, no iridescent head, no Noed, nothing can bring him down. Devour Hope, he will always be able to take one additional hit. However, now there are ways around it. What is a way around it? If Jeff were to slow or medium vault a window, you can grab him. If Jeff were to get in a locker or start a generator animation, you can grab him. If Jeff were to fast vault a window, you cannot grab him. Now, how do you fast vault? Now, to fast vault, you need a 45-degree angle, or even better than that, you need about a 38-degree angle towards a window that you have built up momentum, and you'll suck through on a fast vault. By building up momentum, you can even spin in the spot and then fast vault a window. If you watched any of my educational, informative YouTube videos based on surviving as a survivor, you'll see I do that common tactic when I'm at a double L wall against 115% movement speed killer. Borrowed Time, I cannot stress enough, is easily one of the best perks in the game. Now, there's good news and there's bad news. The good news is everyone can get this perk. The better news is if you're on a console where Bill isn't on the console, I think he's actually on the console now. Anyways, the teachables for Borrowed Time already come in your web and you don't have to level up Bill. If you're a computer gamer like myself, you do have to level up Bill. You get him to 35 to unlock this brilliant teachable, and at level 40 you'll unlock Unbreakable, which is great. It'll take you about 800,000 blood points to get to level 35, or to level 30, and about 250,000. Remember, it's about 70k per level at level 40, depending on how greedy you are. You can get it for about 50 if you get good pathing and you take the cheaper stuff and you're not worried about the perks. But still, it shows you it's going to cost you a little bit of money. You can, however, level Bill up to level 10 and run all three of his perks in the game. I don't recommend all three. I recommend two, Unbreakable and Borrowed Time, and try them out for yourself. Borrowed Time has no impact on yourself. It is a severe perk about saving others. This perk is so beneficial, it resets games. So does Unbreakable. If the killer tries to slug, which leaves you on the ground while you bleed out, you can get up with Unbreakable once per trial. You can also heal to 99% rather than at 85, and then you can get up as well. So keeping in mind that Borrowed Time only benefits your team, you can build a build with no DLCs in Dead by Daylight around a powerhouse survivor build. You can take Iron Will for Jake to remove you at level 30 to remove defenses from the killer in terms of using sound to track you. providing you're not moving through grass, wooden floorboards, dirt, pavement, cement, snow, that kind of thing. You know, you don't cry while you're injured. Very strong perk from Jake. Jake's best perk at level 30. Not a DLC character. Megan's Adrenaline, allowing you to heal. Keeping in mind when you're on the hook, if you're safe from the hook, you instantly heal as well, and then Borrowed Time will be applied to that effect as well. So then you can look at Megan at level 40 for that. You can look at Dead Hard from Mr. King, David King, at level 35 as well, as a fantastic, allowing you to recover from your mistake kind of build. And Borrowed Time, while you also have Kindred just floating around. So you do not need any DLCs on Survivor to make a good build. You can make a phenomenal or a great build with DLCs, but you can still make a very strong, a very comfortable build without any of the DLCs. That's all I have to say about Borrowed Time. I highly recommend picking up this perk if you do not own it. If you already own it, you probably know how great it is. Like I said, it resets games and you can really help your team dramatically with it when you need to. Just because you have it, you don't have to use it. You can, like, keep working on gens, but it will reset. It will reset the game, especially if the guy getting unhooked saved understands what Borrowed Time does. Now, what does Buckle Up do? Buckled Up is a really bad perk. So basically, while there is a slug on the ground or somebody in dying state, the aura of them will glow brighter the closer they are to being recovered. So when they're 99.9% recovered, or 85% if they don't have Unbreakable, or Gnome either, their aura will be pulsating. Not pulsating, but it'll be glowing a really nice greeny yellow color. When you heal this guy up, you will then be able to see the killer's aura for 4, 5, and 6 seconds. You know, it's not bad if you know your killer's gonna slug. Do keep in mind, if the killer's running Knockout, Knockout is superior to Buckle Up and counters Buckle Up's 48 meters and reduces it to 16 meters. If for whatever reason the killer has Third Seal or a blindness add-on, that will overcompensate what Buckle Up will do. Therefore, the perk is null and void throughout that time. You will still not get to see the aura because of, obviously, the effect of blindness. So, Buckle Up is a cute perk. It's something you run for fun. Is it a good perk? The answer behind that is it can be utilized if you really want to, but you have to rely on the killer slugging rather than downing a guy and picking him up. Your call. Would I buy it? Probably not, to be frank. Next perk is Dying Light. Dying Light, you become obsessed with one survivor. This survivor can now heal 33% quicker himself and everyone else. That sounds really bad, and you're right, it is. If you M1 a survivor and they got a really fancy medkit and they can heal in 6 seconds, Lord behold, they're going to be able to heal in 4.5 seconds or something dramatic, and you're going to be like, what the hell was that? This could be a terrifying perk if you're not on an instant down killer. It also stacks really well with a lot of people will be running Thanatophobia and they'll be running Sloppy Butcher and use this on Ghostface. I do not recommend that at all. What is the benefit with this? Every time you down a survivor and hook them, all survivors who are not the Obsession. So the Obsession is not affected by this penalty the entire trial. The other 3 people are. All survivors who are not the Obsession receive a penalty towards repairing generators, healing, salvoing, etc., etc. So, is that good? Yes, it is. How much is the penalty? Okay, it's 2%. Let me do some math. 2% equals fuck all. Okay? Doesn't help you out. It is really bad, and it does stack with Thanatophobia, 16% when everyone's injured, but at the same time, I can highly not recommend this perk. It is very bad. For you to get bang out of your buck, you need to be playing somebody like the Plague with Thanatophobia and Dying Light and get multiple different hooks. I do not recommend this perk at all, because there's better perks on the market for the Plague, like Discordance, for example, or Infectious Fright, which is a teachable she has, Corrupt Intervention, even Pop Goes the Weasel for stability, rather than a small percentage. Remember, this does not at all enhance regression on a generator. A generator will regress roughly at 0.3% per second, with 0.6% per second. With Ruin, nothing will change that. There are no enhancements. You can make a generator explode with Surge and have it regress. It's still going to regress at 0.3%. If you have Ruin and Surge and you down Jeff, that generator will not regress because of the fact you have Surge, unless somebody was working on that generator. Then they're going to explode, they're going to let go of the generator, then it's going to start regressing, and then when they try and tap it, it's going to regress as well. So keep that kind of thing in mind. Also, would I recommend Dying Light? It is Michael Myers teachable, unlocked at I believe level 35, as opposed to at level 40 is unlocked play with your food. Would I recommend it? No. I think it's an absolute dreadful perk, and wait for it to get a bit of a rework again before putting it in any of your builds. The small benefit you receive from the hard work that you have to provide, generally, you would have lost 3 to 4 gens by then, and the value you're getting out of it will be very poor. And on a game where you get 4 or 5 stacks early, you didn't even need the perk in the first place. The next perk is I'm All Ears. I'm All Ears is a hidden gem. Now, I know a lot of buddies of mine that have been running this perk recently. I don't want to mention any names, but I know a couple of people that really do enjoy this, right? Some people run them on Legion. You know who you are. Some people run it on Demogorgon. Now, what is good about this perk? Whenever a survivor fast faults a window, or medium volts, or even slow volts. It unlocks one's aura reading ability for 48 meters as long as they vaulted it within there. You will see their aura for 6 seconds. They will glow bright pink, and you're going to be able to know exactly where they are for 6 seconds. So you can go one way and then stand there and hide your light and have him hesitate and come in. You could make him vault the window, go to the right hand side, wait for him to double back it, and then bamboozle the window to then punish him with Shred on the Gordon. There's quite a lot of plays to make it work. I did not mention who is the best killer in the game with this perk. It is actually the Nurse. If somebody vaults a window on the Nurse, you literally can see them, and as long as you know you're charging on your Nurse with your hand open, 2 seconds, fully charged blink, therefore you'll go 18 meters. If you understand the calculation of the animation, you're going to be able to go right on top of a guy and take the hit. However, if you're that good at Nurse, you don't need this perk. You can react to seeing or hearing the click of the feet. You don't need to start blinking because a guy's running at the window. You don't need to do that. You need to get a little bit closer, and the second you see his feet go over the window or the animation start, then you go for your blink because he's locked in animation for about 1.2 seconds on the other side, enough time for you to charge, blink through, and M1 him, unless he's a pro with his dead hard and doesn't have the lag. So what can I say? I highly recommend I'm all ears. It is a Ghostface teachable, unlocked at level 30. Ghostface is a paid DLC. Ghostface also comes with Thrilling Tremor. Therefore, would I recommend buying this perk? If you are willing to invest in Dead by Daylight, which is a fantastic game, as you guys all know, if you're willing to invest in it, I would highly recommend not purchasing this out of the shrine and saving your iridescent shards, based on the fact that you could get 2 great teachables out of Ghostface from just for the price of 1. And you're also going to get this at level 30, therefore about 800,000 blood points, and about 1.2 at level 35, depending on how good you are with your blood webs. It shouldn't cost you 400k to get 5 levels, but still, better to be safe than sorry. I do like this perk. It can work really well. Do I recommend it on any killer? In its current state, no. I could see it working on Legion with sealing windows if you have an injured target, but at the same time, I personally wouldn't take it. If I had to take it, you could run it on the Huntress as well. You could run it on the Deathslinger with hiding your light and waiting for a guy to peek that window by accident, hitting his hitbox and reeling him in. But highly recommend it on Nurse. But the Nurse has better options on the table, depending on your playstyle. You could either be a Devour Hope Nurse, you could be a Surge Nurse like myself, you could even be a Haunted Ground Nurse or a Ruin Nurse. It just depends on your playstyle, all of which are generally better. If you have a free slot for a All Ears because you're a Shadowborn user or a Modern Abuse user, then do consider running this. It's actually not a bad perk, and it's quite fun. It's something different, and you'll notice when you use it, wow, why don't I hear people talk about this perk more? Alrighty guys, that's going to be all for this week's Shrine. I hope you guys had a wonderful time. If you want to learn more about Dead by Daylight, my name is Fungoose. I'm an educational Dead by Daylight killer main. I stream Dead by Daylight 5 days a week live on Twitch. I do Killer on 3 days, I do Survivor on 2 days, and you guys can pop in for some more educational, informative content. But apart from that guys, I will see you in the next video. Take care and stay safe. Thank you guys.